Hey, everybody. You are listening to Mental Fitness Matters. I am your host, Tracy Alston, and this is WSIC Radio. I hope everyone out there is having a great week. I got a question for you guys. Have you ever noticed that every once in a while, situations or events happen in our lives that challenge us to take a closer look at ourselves, make some improvements, or set or reach new goals? Like something happens that requires a better version of ourselves than before. It requires us to perform at our peak. Has that ever happened to you? That may be your situation right now, right? Like you know that you have more to give, you're seeking more from yourself, and you're wanting to grow and to tap into your highest potential. Well, what better time than right now to start performing at your peak, whether that's at work, at school, in sports, or in life, and becoming the best version of you? What are you waiting for? When you think about your next opportunity to grow, your next opportunity is going to require you to be more focused. It's going to require you to be more motivated. It's going to require you to be calmer under pressure. It's also going to require you to be more resilient. And you may be thinking that peak performance training and peak performance requires more of your time, more energy, more dedication, more effort. Well, that's not true. Peak performance is now accessible to anyone who wants to improve and excel thanks to Mental Edge Fitness Solutions. Mental Edge brings you all the necessary tools to unlock your edge and perform at your peak more effectively and conveniently. My name is Tracy Alston, and I'm the founder and CEO of Mental Edge Fitness Solutions, located inside of Champion Sports Performance in Cornelius, North Carolina. Before I get into more information about Mental Edge and the things that we do at my company, I want to give you guys a little bit of background about myself and my experience. I'm a licensed clinical mental health counselor. I'm also board certified in biofeedback and neurofeedback. I'm a mental fitness consultant, and I'm the founder and CEO of New Mentality and Mental Edge Fitness Solutions. And I'm a former graduate and former college athlete at Wake Forest University in Winston-Salem, North Carolina. And I can remember, as a former college basketball athlete, I always remember the dedication and the time and the training that it took to perform and compete at that level. Prior to going to Wake, I remember spending countless times and hours training and conditioning every single day. AAU basketball required travel. It required a lot of time. It required a lot of energy and effort. It was a sport that I loved, and I wanted to be the best. So as I think back about all the strength and conditioning and the training that we did and the time that we spent in the weight room, when I think back about being in the gym, all the shots and the reps that we put up, when I think about going to the field, all the speed and agility and training that we did to get faster, when I think about all that time spent and I reflect back on our wins and losses, I recognize that our wins and losses didn't all the time come down to our physicality. It was our mental fitness and our mental performance. A lot of my losses, not only from sports, but a lot of my losses in business came down to confidence, decision-making, overthinking, my ability to stay focused or in the zone, my reaction time, my ability to control my emotions, being able to block out the noise, being able to remain calm under pressure, and most importantly, my self-talk. The ability to bounce back after a failure or a setback or after a disappointment heavily relied on my mental fitness. And it wasn't until I got older that I recognized that my brain is a muscle, just like every other muscle that I spent time strengthening and conditioning. My brain is a muscle and something that we can train for peak performance. So through my own daily journey in becoming the best version of myself, I created a company where I've combined cutting-edge technology used by top performers all over the world, visualization training, breathing exercises, and other science-based solutions to help people excel and become who they are meant to be with peak performance training and testing. Mental Edge Fitness is a premier fitness service provider bringing you all the necessary tools for testing and training your brain performance so that you can effectively and conveniently perform at your peak. Not just sometimes, guys, not just sometimes, but when it matters the most. At Mental Edge, we currently have several types of clientele, whether that's business owners looking to advance in their career, sports teams and athletes, seniors that are looking to stay sharp as they age, students and professionals looking for a competitive mental edge, anybody looking to perform at their peak can be serviced through Mental Edge Fitness. We just opened a new location inside of Champion Sports Performance in Cornelius. And Champion Sports Performance is one of the most amazing training facilities in the country. It's a family fitness center and performance center for youth and pro athletes and adults. And their programs are nationally and globally known for the results they produce and the community that they build. And we couldn't be more proud of our partnership. Because what I know as a former college athlete, now entrepreneur and business professional, is that when you're combining the mind and body and physical training and mental training under one roof, that's going to give you the competitive mental advantage that you need to excel in any area of your life. Okay, so think about that for a second. No matter whether you're an athlete or a business professional or a student, think about when you have performed at your best. If you've ever had a moment where you've been in the zone, you've been at your peak, what do you remember? How were you feeling? What was going on? Think about that for a second. Reflect on that for a second. I know for myself personally, whether I was playing basketball or just being in a creative state for business, my zone feels like confidence. My zone feels like productivity. It feels like motivation. It feels like energy. It feels like ease. It feels like flow. It feels like happiness. It feels like sharper memory. It feels like a better ability to find the right words. It just feels like it's easy. There's a flow state when you're in the zone. And at Mental Edge, we realize that performance is 90% mental and 10% physical. Think about that. When you're performing at your peak, a lot of mental work is going into that performance. We also recognize that different sports and different tasks require the usage of different parts of your brain, right? So depending on what it is that you're doing, that's going to require you to utilize different parts of your brain. And so when I'm working with people, especially when I'm working with athletes, I love to ask that question, how much time do you spend training your physical fitness? I asked them that. How much time do you spend training on your physical fitness and your physical body? And depending on the sport and also the level in which they're competing at, most people are spending anywhere between 10 to 35 hours a week training and conditioning for their sport or for their job or just for their overall health and wellness. 10 to 35 hours a week. Then I say, how much time do you spend training your mental fitness? And I get like this deer in the headlight look, crickets. They look and they say, 90% of them say, 0 to none. 0 to none. So just imagine if you were that 10% of the elite performers and athletes taking their mental fitness to that next level and really begin focusing, training your mental fitness, imagine what advantages you could have in your life. Soon, mental fitness won't be a thing that only a few people are doing. It's going to become the standard. And you want to make sure that you are on the early side of that game, because then when you think about competing and performing at that next level, you won't be in the middle of the road. You'll be at the top of the pack. Okay. So when we think about the reason why Mental Edge exists, it's because we're going to make training like this that people are doing all over the country and performing at a peak level something that's more convenient, something that's mainstream, and something that's accessible to everyone. We use the same tools and technology that's being used by top organizations, top professionals, and elite athletes like Bryson DeChambeau. He's a pro golfer. Tony Robbins is the nation's top life and business strategist. Tobias Harris, he's the forward for the Philadelphia 76ers. Formula One sports teams, NASA, Olympic athletes and Olympic teams are using this type of technology to train to compete at the next level. So it's becoming more and more clear that individuals and teams performing at their peak are training more than their mental fitness. They're realizing that to compete at that level, they have to be sharp mentally. And in order to compete like a pro, you have to start training like a pro. And that's why all of our programs start with mental performance testing. What I recognize, especially when I was a college athlete playing basketball, recognizing that a lot of the things going on inside of my head, that mental chatter, you practice, you shoot the free throw over and over again, you take the shot. It's not that you don't have the physical components down or the things that you need to do down, but mentally, when things happen, when all eyes are on you, when the clock's ticking down, where's your head? Where are your thoughts? And so for us, when we start our clients off with mental performance testing, we don't know how far they can go if we don't know where they are. So we have to start with the brain. And the more that I study and learn about human potential, I'm always curious, how far can we go? What is our highest potential? And most of us guys are only scratching the surface. We're only scratching the surface of our brain's potential. And so I think whether you're an athlete, whether you're a student, whether you're creative, a business owner, we've all had moments in our lives that we've thought to ourselves, if I could be more focused, if I could be more productive, if I could have a little bit more motivation, if I could sleep a little bit better, what impact could that have on my life? And one of the quick fun facts that I like to talk about, especially when we talk about the brain and its performance and its abilities, a lot of times when we think about the brain usage and brain speed, a fun fact about the brain is that it has the ability to process information as fast as 268 miles per hour. 268 miles per hour. That's fast. It's a machine. Our brain can go, it can move. So think about that. Think about your own mental performance. If you're someone who's constantly feeling, whether it's tired or foggy brain, or you don't really feel like you have a lot of motivation, or you have trouble sleeping, or maybe you don't process information as effectively or efficiently as you would like, then that's probably a good sign that you're probably not getting the best usage or the most value out of your brain fitness. And a lot of us didn't even know that you can change that, and you can. And so when we think about mental performance testing, think about that as a baseline assessment on where you are. A baseline assessment on where you are. We're able to see your unique patterns of mental strengths, mental weaknesses in the categories of focus, stress response, mood, the ability to process information. So all the necessary things for understanding your mental fitness, when we start you with that testing, we're able to see where you are. And with that information, we're able to create programs around your brain performance to help you get to where you want to go. So think about that. If you've ever been a part of a gym or a part of any type of physical training program, they start you off with the baseline. And the reason being is because they got to know where you are. Same thing with your brain. We can't help improve focus. We can't help you get out of the way from having those mental blocks and boosting your confidence and making better decisions if we don't know what's blocking that or preventing those things from happening. So the purpose of the mental performance testing is to get a baseline so that we can begin to create your mental training program, helping you see where you are, but also seeing your brain's potential. And throughout the program, we're periodically testing your mental performance. We're periodically testing your brain fitness to see what's changed since you've been training with us, okay? So think about that. If you're in a situation where, like I said, another part of your life is requiring more from you, more of you, having an understanding of where you are, what those mental blocks are, but also seeing a path forward is a game changer. It's a game changer. And what people don't recognize is that you can train your brain. Not only can we get information on what your brain is doing in real time, but you can train your brain, and it's necessary. And so I know we've all heard that saying that if you use it, if you don't use it, you lose it. Well, think about your brain as a muscle. You're absolutely right. It can decline and it can atrophy. And if we're only using a small percentage of our brain function for certain things and never really sharpening it or strengthening it or exercising it to get better, then we're going to kind of stay where we are. And so after we do the mental performance testing for you guys, we go through peak performance training. Our programs help improve focus. It helps improve decision making. It helps with motivation and confidence. Sleep quality. A lot of what we see are people getting the quantity. They're getting 8, 9, 10 hours of sleep, but they're still waking up exhausted or fatigued. and think about your own performance. Especially if you're playing sports or if you're in business or if you're a student, if you've ever noticed when you physically get tired, what does that do to your focus? When you're physically exhausted, have you ever noticed that it's hard to focus your brain and focus your mind to do what it needs to do? So when you think about mental training and peak performance training, we want to sharpen your mind so that you can actually bounce back from any type of fatigue or exhaustion. You want to be able to kind of quiet that busy brain, right? If you got a lot of static and noise in the background, your thoughts, that inner critic telling you that you can't do it, telling you that you need to stop, we want to be able to tune and turn that out. You want to be able to reduce your stress. Stress is on the rise. No matter what's going on in your life, wherever you are right now, being able to reduce and monitor your stress levels are important. You want to increase your energy and motivation so that you have the energy to do with the things that you know you're called to do. Those things can be getting in the way. You got a lot of creative ideas, but when you sit down to actually get some stuff done, your power goes down. You feel like you don't have the fuel or the gas in your tank to get those things done. So when you're training peak performance from a mental perspective, we want to increase your brain energy, your brain speed. Memory is important. Creativity is important. Allowing yourself to be able to be in that flow state and in that zone. And if you're looking to excel and become a pro in any area of your life, it's going to start with your mental fitness. And I remember, like I said, in my path, my journey, my history, I've always started on the action side first. It's really more can we do? What more can we do? And any goal, any plan is going to have to start with the mental game plan, guys. If you want to start to actually make some movements into where you're going in your life, you want to start with the muscle that's responsible for everything that we do. Your brain is responsible for what you think, what you feel, and your actions that you take after. So before you take any action, why not train your brain to be prepared, to perform, and to excel? The training solutions that we offer are quick, harmless, convenient, and something that you can do in the comfort of your own home or in our office. And so when we talk about training, we have solutions that, let's say, for example, you are a busy professional, a busy athlete, a busy student, a busy human, like all of us. We got things to do, right? And you don't necessarily have time to come inside of the office, inside of Cornelius, and train with us inside of Champion Sports Performance. You don't have that time to sit down and train. Well, we have mobile solutions that are available that you can begin to train your brain from the comfort of your own home. 20 to 30 minutes a session, 3 to 4 times a week. You can train at your convenience from the comfort of your own home. We want to make these options something that you have no excuse. Making yourself a priority should be on your list of things to do this year. How can you take care of everyone else and you constantly be on the back burner for your own mental health and mental wellness? It's time to make you a priority. You are in the driver's seat of your life, and you want to get in the driver's seat of your thoughts. You want to get in the driver's seat of your emotions, and you want to get in the driver's seat of your performance. So contact us. Champion Sports Performance. We're located at 18831 Statesville Road, Cornelius, North Carolina. Our phone number is 704-997-8240. We want to be your mental fitness provider for the year. Take control over your brain, take control over your life, and that starts right now. When we think about the tools that we're offering, not only are we looking at the mental performance testing and the mental performance training, we also offer things like visualization. If you've ever recognized that your brain it really doesn't know the difference between what's imagined and what you're creating in reality. And visualization is an untapped tool and technique, but you're probably using it more often than you know. And once you can really begin to visualize yourself where you want to go, seeing yourself play out the events of your life in the way that you want to have it happen, creating a daily practice of doing that will allow those things to show up in your everyday world. So learning how to use your brain's potential in ways that are going to really cut some time off of all of the work that you're doing, because you're going to now create healthy habits around training your mental fitness. You can train your brain. You can see yourself succeeding. You can see yourself thriving. You can see yourself happy, and then you can go out and be all those things that you've seen. We also incorporate breathing exercises. Breathing is one of the most powerful tools and the fastest way to turn on your brain. And so as a member of Mental Edge Fitness Solutions, you'll have access to our breathing app that helps you create a daily breathing journey and path so that you know effective breathing patterns and strategies that work best for you, and that you can create a daily breathing journey. Again, it's all practice. So just like you're spending time in the gym or spending time on your craft or your skill, you're going to now spend time on your mental fitness. And when you spend time learning how to breathe, it's going to be a way that you can calm your mind, calm your body, and allow you to turn on your focus and improve your performance. Once you create daily, deliberate habits of training your mental fitness, this will increase your happiness, your productivity, your performance, your ability to bounce back after failures or setbacks. You want to give yourself the opportunity to be the best version of who you are. And I'm a firm believer. My passion in mental health and mental fitness and seeing and working with clients and doing the same work that I'm teaching for myself. I know the benefits. I feel the benefits. I'm living the benefits. And it's only right that we share this with the people that have been watching and listening and the people that are going to come into our space. I believe mental fitness is the way of the future. It has to start there. Everything begins and ends in the brain. Okay, guys, feel free. If you are ready to perform at your peak and train like a pro, it's time to start now. Mental Edge Fitness Solutions, I cannot wait to see you guys. Come train with us. Make your mental fitness a priority. I can't wait to see you soon. Thank you for joining us today on Mental Fitness Matters. Tune in every Thursday at 8:30 a.m. to 9 a.m. for more tips, tools, strategies, and solutions that will help you reach your peak mental fitness. My name is Tracy Alston, and you've been listening to Mental Fitness Matters.